A little water on my window, and you can see that this works just perfect.
Well, hello again, and welcome back to T and Mo Off the Grid. We're going to be talking a little bit about my CF Moto Uforce XL 1000 that we got recently, and we had a windshield put on. This is polycarbonate, so it's like supposed to be really indestructible. Very nice windshield. The only problem is we're got winter coming on pretty quick, so we're going to have some snow and some rain, and I'm thinking I want to put on a windshield wiper. So I picked up a little windshield wiper kit over at online at Amazon. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so this little kit comes with an arm with a spring on it. They include 2 windshield wiper blades, and these are supposed to be good for the polycarbonate, the plastic, so it doesn't scratch it up. And then you've got a little knob. So this is going to be a manual one. So what will happen is on the inside, we'll be turning this that will make that operate. And so just basically how this is going to work, this piece will slide over here, and then that little nut will tighten it down on top of there. Now, some of the tools we're going to need is some painter's tape I'm going to use before I drill out that polycarbonate. And then notice there's some nuts and some washers. See this, we're going to drill a hole big enough for there. That's a 1/2 inch drill, so that's going to be a big one. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then there's rubber gaskets on there, so we'll tighten that up. And then these nuts that came with this particular kit, these are 17 millimeter, and then this little guy is a 10 millimeter nut. So that's how we're going to get that put together. Things you're going to need to be a drill, and you're going to need this drill bit. Now look, this is, I don't think I've ever used this 1/2 inch drill bit, so it's brand new. And you would think, okay, wow, brand new is exactly what we need. That's not necessarily the case. When you're working with polycarbonate, what you want to do is run this into a piece of wood a couple times. You need it a little bit doled off. Okay, so we're going to do that in just a minute, and then we'll show you how it works. The polycarbonate, for some reason, when you're using polycarbonate, at least everything I've read, that a little bit of a dull blade is a little bit better for that drill bit, and otherwise it has a tendency to maybe catch on there, and we don't want to rip it or cause any potential cracks. That stuff's pretty tough, so let's jump into it right now.
Now when you're marking your spot, you want to put the blade on. And then you put it on there and you swoop it down to make sure that it misses that corner piece, and it gives you enough clarity so it'll really clean that windshield off, and you'll still be able to tuck it up. So I put some X of tape up there, and I also did it on the inside. That'll help it kind of keep things together so that we don't have that drill jump around any and scratch anything up. Now with the hole drilled, we can just put this piece in the front and leave it sticking out a little bit, and I'll work around to the other side and put the nut and the rubber gasket on there, and that's going to be the vessel that holds the windshield wiper. Hey, I just wanted to go back and talk a little bit more about that drill. Make sure that you do drill at low speed, not high speed. Remember, you're drilling into plastic, and it'll heat up, and it has all this little plastic confetti that'll come out, and if you don't just take it easy and go slow, that could grab and ram that drill right into your windshield. So be very careful about that so that you don't break anything. Now we put the handle inside, and notice how I have the knob facing to the left for the driver, the same as that windshield wiper. And we check to make sure the fit's good. That looks good. This keeps the windshield wiper up high. I put that on there. It might be a 2-person job. I managed to get it in there myself. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. And that's 10 millimeter wrench, and give her a test run. All right, I poured a little water on my window, and you can see that this works just perfect.
If you want to see some more automotive, home, and ATV DIY, as well as some off-grid stuff, survival, even some cooking and a bunch of laughs, please subscribe to T and Mo Off the Grid.